The genesis of a visionary, from Jeanneret to Le Corbusier. Charles-Édouard Jeanneret Gris was his birth name. He was born on October 6, 1887. His birthplace was La Chaux-de-Fonds, a town in Switzerland. This town was known for its watchmaking industry. Precision and craftsmanship were valued there. Young Charles-Édouard grew up in this environment. He would later adopt the name Le Corbusier. This name would become famous worldwide in architecture. He was a true pioneer, changing design forever. His early life in Switzerland shaped his vision. La Chaux-de-Fonds was nestled in the Jura Mountains. The region's stark beauty and functional design traditions were influential. He initially trained as an engraver and watch decorator. This early training sharpened his eye for detail. It also taught him about materials and form. However, his interests soon turned towards art and then architecture. His teacher, Charles Le Platinier, encouraged this shift. He saw the potential in the young Jeanneret. Le Corbusier, then still Jeanneret, began his architectural journey. He undertook several important study tours across Europe. These travels were like an informal education for him. He visited Italy, Vienna, Munich, and Paris. He also journeyed to the Balkans and Asia Minor. He sketched constantly, observing classical and vernacular architecture. He learned from architects like Joseph Hoffmann and Auguste Perret. Perret, a pioneer in concrete construction, was a key influence. These experiences broadened his understanding and refined his ideas. His first significant architectural work was the Villa Fallet. This house was built in La Chaux-de-Fonds, his hometown. He designed it in 1907 at a young age. The Villa Fallet showed early signs of his unique style. It blended traditional Swiss chalet elements with Art Nouveau influences. It also hinted at his later interest in geometric forms. This project marked the true beginning of his architectural career. It provided invaluable practical experience. He was starting to find his own architectural voice. It was a stepping stone towards the revolutionary architect he would become. Forging a new path, the Parisian Crucible. Paris became Le Corbusier's new home and laboratory. He moved to the vibrant French capital, drawn by its artistic energy. Paris in the early 20th century was a hub for new ideas. Cubism was emerging and innovation was in the air. This environment was fertile ground for his developing theories. He understood that Paris was where he needed to be, to truly make his mark on the world of architecture. He was ready to challenge traditional architectural norms. The city offered both inspiration and opportunities for him. In 1922, Le Corbusier took a decisive step. He established his own architectural office in Paris. The office was located at 35 Rue de Sèvres. This was a significant moment in his career. It gave him a base to develop and promote his ideas. He could now work independently on his architectural projects. This studio would become a famous center for modernist thought. Many young architects would later pass through its doors. It was the engine room for his architectural revolution. A crucial partnership formed within this new office. Le Corbusier began collaborating with his cousin, Pierre Jeanneret. Pierre was also an architect with a keen design sense. They worked closely together for many years until 1940. Their collaboration was incredibly productive and influential. Pierre shared Le Corbusier's vision for modern architecture. He brought practical skills and a complementary perspective. Together they designed many important buildings and furniture. This partnership was fundamental to the success of the studio. The Paris office rapidly became a hub of innovation. It was more than just a place to draw blueprints. It was a think tank for modernist architecture and urban planning. Here, Le Corbusier and Pierre Jeanneret refined their theories. They experimented with new materials like steel and concrete. Their designs emphasized functionality, simplicity, and light. The office was a place of intense work and creativity. Ideas on mass housing and urban systems were developed here. It was where Le Corbusier's architectural dreams began to take physical form. Many revolutionary concepts were born in this small Parisian space. Defining modernism, iconic works, and core philosophy. Le Corbusier developed 5 points of architecture. These principles became a cornerstone of modern design. The first point was pilotis, or slender columns. These raised the building, freeing the ground level. The second was the flat roof, designed as a roof garden. This provided extra living space and greenery. Third was the open floor plan, free of load-bearing walls. Fourth, long horizontal ribbon windows for light and views. The fifth point was the free facade, independent of the structure. These 5 points aimed to create more functional and healthy living spaces. The Villa Savoye is a perfect example of these 5 points. It was designed between 1929 and 1931 in Poissy, near Paris. The house stands on pilotis, appearing to float. It features a roof garden and an open-plan interior. Long ribbon windows wrap around the building. The facade is free and unadorned, purely functional. Villa Savoye was designed as a machine for living in. It embodied Le Corbusier's vision of modern domestic architecture. It remains one of the most iconic houses of the 20th century, a true manifesto of his architectural beliefs. Another key project was the Unique d'Habitation in Marseille. This residential housing project was built between 1947 and 1952. It was a response to the post-war housing crisis in France. Le Corbusier envisioned it as a vertical garden city. The massive concrete structure housed over 1,600 people. It included apartments, shops, a school, and a rooftop terrace. This was a radical new approach to urban living. The Unique d'Habitation aimed to create a self-contained community. It showcased his ideas on communal living and standardization. It influenced social housing projects around the world. Le Corbusier's influence extended globally with projects like Chandigarh. In the 1950s, he was commissioned to design the new capital city of Punjab, India. This was an enormous undertaking, a city planned from scratch. He designed the master plan for Chandigarh. He also designed several major government buildings. These included the High Court, the Secretariat, and the Legislative Assembly. These monumental concrete structures expressed power and modernity. The Chandigarh project allowed him to implement his urban planning ideas on a vast scale. It remains a testament to his ambitious vision and global reach. A lasting blueprint influence, income, and final chapter. Le Corbusier's income came from several sources. His architectural practice was, of course, a primary source. Commissions for buildings, both private and public, paid his bills. However, his earnings varied throughout his long career. Early on, projects were sometimes scarce. He also earned money from his numerous publications. He was a prolific writer, authoring many influential books on architecture. Additionally, he engaged in teaching and lecturing. These activities helped to spread his ideas and supplement his income. His later career was marked by increased international recognition. Large-scale projects became more frequent. The Chandigarh Commission in India was a major source of work. Other significant projects in Europe and beyond followed. These later works often brought substantial earnings. They also cemented his status as a leading global architect. He became one of the most influential figures of the 20th century. His impact was felt not just in architecture, but also in urban planning and design. He continued to work, write, and paint with passion. Le Corbusier's life came to an end on August 27, 1965. He died while swimming in the Mediterranean Sea. This occurred at Roquebrune Cap Martin in the south of France. He had a small rustic cabin there, his cabanon, where he often retreated. His death marked the end of an era for modern architecture. He left behind a vast body of work. This included buildings, city plans, writings, and artworks. His life was dedicated to reshaping the built environment. He worked tirelessly to promote his vision for a modern world. The legacy of Le Corbusier is immense and undeniable. He fundamentally changed how we think about architecture and urban spaces. His 5 points of architecture are still studied today. His buildings continue to inspire and provoke debate. Many architects who followed were influenced by his principles. The international style, which he helped to pioneer, spread globally. To truly appreciate his work, one should seek out images, photographs of his iconic buildings like Villa Savoye or the Unique d'Habitation reveal his genius. His contributions ensure his place as a master of modern architecture.